Great to be with you. Welcome into the Winklerverse. It is the 4th of December. Today, thank you for hanging and waiting. It's been a few days since we've cranked out a pod. Paul Imig and Grant Bilse will join me here in just a moment. But first, off the top, wanted to address the rumors that are non-existent because nobody seems to have any interest about what's going on in my life. Oh, Craig Carton. I'm affected too. The Infinity Sports Network is changing, and that means that I will not be a part of the new network. So the National Perspective Show is ending on December 18th. That will be my last day. I have a trip to Denver in there, and then the 18th is going to be my last day. I will say that tonight on the show. Obviously, I'll say all the thank yous to people that have made it possible, that hired me and that have been supportive of me and that have crossed streams with me. I will say all of those things. You will hear your name mentioned. Today, I just wanted to let you know what is going on, and that is that all these vague innuendos of me saying, well, more podcast time. It's because I'll be unemployed again. I'm getting laid off by the company that laid me off a few years ago, but that is radio and that is life. So it's fine. I love the pod. That's why we kept it going. I thank you guys for helping me keep it going. It is a little different telling people at the schoolyard when I pick up my kid, I'm a podcaster rather than I'm a radio host, but that's my own cross to bear. But either way, the Bart Winkler show is ending December 18th. Into the Winklerverse stays strong. Grant Bilse and Paul Imig are here. That's not how I rehearsed it last night in bed, but that is what I've put on tape, and there's no going back. So good to be with you guys.
Well, you want to redo? You want to take two?
No, because he's still a radio guy at heart. That you say it and that's that. We don't edit it.
No redo.
Tim's never edited a single thing in post, despite how often we joke about it. That's not how it should work for radio people.
And I was going to say it later, but then I'm serious. Like, everyone's talking about what's going on at WFAN, and I'm like, I want some attention also. I have life-changing things happening to me also.
Craig Carton.
Yeah, what about Bart Winkler?
Is Craig Carton now, how many times has Ronnie departed and returned to the Fan? Because him and Carton are having the battle that no one's talking about, the competition that never gets any coverage at Barrett Sports Media.
Yeah, more profiles on Rami Makloff. More profiles on Rami Makloff, please. Great guy. Comedian. He hit a deer recently. Totaled his car. Do you guys know that?
No.
Yeah, print that.
Now,
sometimes he got stuck in an elevator once.
Now, add that to the list of crazy things that have made a radio host late for a show.
I feel like ass.
I do too.
You do?
Oh, very sick.
Mark online already told me to get another booster because we're never letting that go. No, I feel like I realized today that I was born in the right time. In fact, I should probably have born later, like when society's even softer.
Yeah.
Because, like, if I was at war in, like, the Civil War or the Revolutionary War, or if I had to hunt and gather, like, I'm a mess. I snowblowed and it broke immediately. So now I'm taking 9 inches up the ass, shoveling 9 inches of snow. And my whole body hurts. And then my neighbor's like, I have an electric shovel. Never heard of that. You use that for a little bit till that died. Then I got sick because I was out there for 3 goddamn hours. Later that night, I tried to close a candy jar and smashed the candy jar and fucked up my finger. It was on the ground, like disoriented. Like blood gushing everywhere from my little finger.
Really?
My kid comes downstairs. He starts bawling because he realized that the M&Ms are ruined. And then I'm just a disaster. It's cold. I can't. Giannis is getting traded. I'm just a fucking mess. I'm a goddamn mess. Thanks for stopping into the Winklerverse.
Just so you know, in your delivery of your news at the top,
Should I redo it?
I'm guessing it'll sound I'm guessing it'll sound similar when you do it on the national show. But because you're sick, there was a moment where it sounded like you got choked up. Grant, right?
Oh yeah. My favorite part of that cold open was there are changes coming to the Infinity Sports Network, and the changes are I'm not a part of it.
Yeah, I'm out. It was a good ride.
I was about to say it was a hell of a run, longer than I would have made it talking national sports.
But can I ever cut it back locally?
I would like to think so.
I've got a national brain now.
I still think you should do the fifth hour with Carlos with a K. That should be one of your mini Into the Winklerverse weekly things where the two of you talk national topics and do some of the old bits from the national show.
Well, guess what they said?
That should be a weekly thing. Is you and Carlos doing, as you always would call it, that'll be in the fifth hour. There you go. Here's your chance.
What did they say?
I forgot what I wanted to say. I forgot what my real punchy thing I wanted to say was.
Tim, ready to go.
Is that I don't know that I'll ever work in radio again. I don't know that I will. I don't think there's like a national recruiter that's going to be like, oh, let's take him. I don't know who even knows about the show. I don't in Milwaukee, where am I going? Where I feel like I've been an asshole.
No.
To a lot of people.
No.
And some of them should hate me. A lot of them hate me for reasons they couldn't even tell you. They would say, "Oh, he said something on Twitter." Or, "Oh, he just seems like a whatever."
Wow.
And I've attacked a lot of people I don't know. And a lot of people don't like me and they don't know me. I would like to reconcile with a lot of people. I would like also to be, if I could throw this pitch out there, I would like to be the voice to say what you can't say. So if there's somebody that works in radio, like I'm going in on Shams. Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Fuck him. Fuck him. And if somebody at ESPN Milwaukee wants to be like, dude, this guy sucks. Here's something I can tell you. If somebody wants to be like, oh, here's a Schefter anecdote if you want it. If someone from another station wants to be like, hey, this is happening. We need you. We need something. I want to be that guy. I will be the attack dog. Okay? I've already tanked my own career. Don't tank yours. Let me further tank mine on behalf of you. That's what I wanted to say earlier.
Well, I'm glad we got it in.
Tim cut it together.
That was my big ta-da.
No one's going to watch this. Just cut that into a short and then post it individually. It doesn't even matter where it is in the full podcast. No one's going to listen to this start to finish.
Well, then they're going to miss the other thing I want to mention is that at Happy Place Hemp, you can get 25% off every single product. Gummies, the seltzers. Hey, they told me there's someone that every time they say, I'm only ordering this because Bart Winkler. The code also tells them that, but If you want to leave a message, that's really nice too. Happy Place Hemp, promo code Bart, 25% off. All right. We're going to start. I know, Grant, I know you think that there's other more interesting stories than Giannis. But we're going to start with Giannis.
An emotional, funny tweet and throw it in my face. You're going to be the guy to do this?
I am.
Okay.
I mean, pretty uninteresting, unlikable Brewers season. Also, we just went through.
I never said uninteresting, unlikable. Also, I tweeted that 2 days ago. I think the situation's gotten more interesting since then.
A lot of what I've said about Giannis, I have tweeted. So I mean, I guess I'll just throw it over to Paul and see what the question might be. Paul, who is silent.
Unmute yourself, Paul.
All right. Sorry. Ready? Just as an indication of how much things changed in a week, something I wrote, I don't know, maybe like on, actually I can tell you exactly what day, the 29th.
But, may I?
Jesus.
What changed?
No, I'll tell you exactly what changed. On the 29th, I had the following topic. The Bucks should not care how many games they lose without Giannis and should not make any moves that help them win more of the non-Giannis games. In other words, they were like, oh, for whatever. And then you're hearing like DeRozan or Levine, because that will help them when Giannis is out. And my thought was like, if you're without Giannis in the playoffs, you have lost. Why do you want to win more of the non-Giannis? Like, you should do it to fit with Giannis. I'm not saying like DeRozan or Levine are necessarily bad ideas, but that was a 5 days ago thing, and how much has changed. The injury, then, I guess the good news, 2 to 4 weeks, a lot better than what maybe could have been. Also, Bart, maybe putting at least a slight damper on your he took a dive theory, which I don't know if you've publicized on Twitter or elsewhere. Have you?
No, that was just a joke I made to you guys. Fucking asshole.
Tim. I mean, you told us that Giannis was walking perfectly fine at swim practice. No, that's a joke. No,
nothing say. Wow. Okay. All right.
I never know.
Sure.
Your takes are usually like very few things you then say are then also not.
I just wondered
broadcast
if you don't want to answer questions.
I tell you this, a friend of mine sent me the identical thought. And I said, whoa, like, so, in my head, I was like, Bart's not the only one who's thinking shenanigans. Because it does get him out of answering questions. But, all right, having said all that.
You're never going to grow if you don't at least consider every possibility.
Let's start at the high level of it. Giannis trade, it's time. Or before the deadline, it's time. We're also gonna venture into like the paths of like how and the what and the when. Like we'll get into all, but like I want to start at the high level. Before the trade deadline, it's time.
Well, here, Paul,
or
So you've talked about wanting to trade Giannis for the health of the franchise.
Correct.
They clearly have been trying to win again, and they have backed themselves into a corner. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, what happens when you back yourself into a corner? You climb up the wall. I saw that on a Lost documentary about how they wrote themselves into corners and were clearly making the show up as they went along. But that's because they were being asked to do 22 episodes of 6 seasons of a show that probably should have been 50 episodes at most.
By the way, quick aside, Michael Schur, who wrote Parks and Rec, purposely wrote his writing team into corners at the end of each season so that they could have like creative spark over the break to see what they could come up with. So he'd put them into the corner purposely to see how they would venture their way through it. But anyway,
that's the same thing. They asked me, would you like to continue on the new network? And I said, no, I want to see how I get out of this one.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
People, yeah. People are like, oh, Bart, last time this happened, bigger and better things. Yeah, what? It's not like I'm gonna go. It's not like I'm gonna go. I went from local to national. Grant.
Are you going to go international now? Are you going to go global?
Yeah,
I think you said that before.
So it's Bart, they heard you got laid off. You're the new host of Good Morning Football.
That's a show that you're definitely never getting invited on. If you talk about burning bridges, it's not happening. But
No.
But back to the thought, I wanted to hear where you're going with this. The Bucks are now to climb up the wall.
Oh, I had nowhere to go with that. I just wanted to say that.
You backed yourself into a corner on your narrative. Okay, good.
I did. I am not going to look at this rationally in any way. You might still think, oh, well, trade him now, get assets, it's not even about that for me at all. I no longer desire another championship with Giannis. I desire keeping him forever.
Spite. You want to, yes. Okay, Grant and I said the same.
So that nobody can ever be right, so that nobody can take him from us, so that nobody can look back. Because again, there's a difference, and Bodie got me yesterday on Shams.
I still insist that it's bow tie, but okay.
No, don't.
I'm just kidding.
Do not.
There's a whole backstory and everything.
But with LaFleur, I kept saying, I'm not wrong. I'm just early.
Mm.
And so he's saying, well, maybe Shams wasn't wrong all this time. He's just early. But it's been 10 years of this. It has. It's been 10 years of me seeing Mike Greenberg's face with Giannis on the bottom. And I'm starting to wonder, don't they get fucking tired of this?
No.
Like, don't they get tired of this? And let me, if I just may, and then I need a vocal rest, which will be good for you two, I know. But if I can just puke off every thought in 90 seconds. Fuck everyone. Fuck all of a sudden this is a Knicks story. There's people saying like, well, the Spurs can't give up Dylan Harper. You're going to give me fucking everything. I mean, well, now fuck you. Now this is a Knicks story. Now, like, it's just another example of Milwaukee just being a plot device for the rest of the league. We have one of the 30 teams here too, okay? And I know that not every team is as marketable or as attractive, but we still exist. We're still 1/30th of that pie. And you can't just come and take our guys when it's convenient for you. And then fuck you for trying to turn it around and saying like, oh, what is your big deal? You're so soft. Eat my fucking shorts. Like another Bart would say. It's just so, and it's been so long. And Shams, he has been trying to do this forever. He has been. And then Windhorse, oh yeah, I got to jump on it too now. And then I saw someone on The Score in Chicago. Well, actually, the Bulls, what the fuck? Now every team's got their like, we got to have an angle. We got to have a Giannis angle. And it's all because of what? Giannis didn't say anything yesterday. Now, he did not say anything also, but he didn't get the chance to talk. I guess he could tweet something. But people looked at his social media. Shams jumps on that, and here we are. Meanwhile, they got the best win of the season on Wednesday night. Very fun game. But it's just such bullshit. The whole thing is bullshit. And for me to say it's bullshit does not make me a bitch, does not make me a fucking twat, does not make me I don't know. I'm sick. This is not helping.
I'm sick. Grant, I believe the topic. So Bart's answer, it's before the deadline. It's time to do the trade. His answer, I think, is just a defiant, based on personal pride and spite and other things.
Which is a good. I like that angle.
It's perfectly. I can relate to a portion of it. So Grant, I go to you. Before the deadline, it's time to trade Giannis. Or
trade Giannis. I would just do it in the offseason. I don't. First of all, I don't know what team is going to line up to give you their best offers. He's had 2 soft tissue injuries now this year, so I think the logistics of a Giannis trade just makes more sense to me to do it in the offseason. But I am, for the first time after last night, depending on when you're listening to this, it would have been Wednesday night, the Pistons game. When I saw him go down, and then limp. Like that was my moment where I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm good.
What is the universe trying to tell you?
Yeah, and in that moment, it's like I had to confront the reality of, if his leg blows up, because this whole time you have this escape pod button to press. It's like, okay, well, if this thing falls apart, you trade Giannis, you recoup some assets, and you go from there. But if his Achilles explodes, as so many other Achilles in the NBA have, or his knee or whatever, then you kind of lose that button too. You're kind of just porked. You're stuck. So yeah, Wednesday put a fright, put a charge, put a scare into me. And I think I'm good. I think I'm ready to be done. And part of that maybe is what Bart's talking about. Like I've just been beaten into submission every other day. And I'm actually pretty good at tuning the sham stuff out. It's like, okay. And I don't think it's fake. It's coming from somewhere, even if it's not as significant as it's made out to be, because you need television segments, you need to talk, but it's not completely and totally fake. But I can tune it out. The one thing that really got under my skin is when Windhorst does an appearance on ESPN Cleveland.
Yeah.
They were talking about Giannis, which is, by the way, a symptom of the very problem Bart is discussing. You're on ESPN Cleveland. You have Windhorst on. You're like, what's up with you? What's up with Giannis? Like what? I guess I don't know what they normally talk about with Windhorst, but at the very end of his thing, the clip that I saw, they ask him, hey, so when is Giannis going to ask out? And Windhorst basically said, well, and that's the thing. I don't know. He appears committed this year, but I know a lot of people don't think he will be next year. Like, that's the shit that bothers me. It's like, you can't just keep kicking the can. You can't just keep doing that. You know what I mean? Like it's just never ending until it ends. And with two soft tissue injuries in 1 year, and Giannis, who I love, kind of being a little melodramatic bitch about all this, like soft launching all these trade requests. It's like, dude, if you want to leave, just say it. And I think most of the fan base would be like, all right. But not if you Michael Scott this thing and like poke your head out of the office and then go back in and then poke your head out like that. No, this will wear people out, man. Like this will get certain fans to turn on you. So I think I'm ready to be done, but I'll say to the deadline thing. Unless
you want off this ride?
I think that's the angle. Yeah.
So a few responses to that. My main one being, if you trade him this offseason and not during this season, you're going to get a season of value in return. If you do it this current season, you're getting a season and a half worth of value in the trade coming back. So, if San Antonio has a situation or if Houston has a situation, maybe in the offseason, they're more needy of a Giannis or desperate for a Giannis and make the Godfather offer. So this isn't like, even if John Horst agreed with me, which clearly he hasn't this entire time, he's kept going and pushing himself back further and further into the corner. And then to Bart's point, just kind of climbed up and then over and then kind of just tried to maneuver around the wall that he's in the corner he's backed himself into. And I get it. I said something on this pod, a few weeks ago, and I saw one of the comments that said, you're not a Bucks fan if you have ever wanted Giannis to be traded. That means you just don't understand the NBA. It's like, well, agree to disagree, obviously. There's points at which, you can keep trying to hope that there's like a version of 2021 that happens again, or you can look at it objectively and non-emotionally, which I'm good at doing. Like, if you need someone to
short for fanatic, Paul. So remember.
But that's why it's like I'm a fan. I just never fanaticize. So you should take my advice, because I'm emotionally dispassionate. I enjoy it. I like it, but then I can like disconnect that. So
pocket protector.
Do you think there's a trade offer that the Bucks could make?
Local robot.
Do you think there's a trade offer that the Bucks could make, and in return, because they've traded Giannis, they have built themselves into a championship contender once again? I do not.
No, but they're not now. And a lot of the stuff that you end up doing with, like, I hate to even say the second apron and the luxury tax and the things that
I'm still dumb enough to watch that game last night and think like, let's go.
So there's a couple other comments. The thing
you should feel that way, by the way. That's what sports are about, Bart. So don't feel bad about that. Sorry, Paul.
Well, and I do think, and I said this,
I got laid off.
I mentioned this in a friends group chat, but like, I think the thing that's most disappointing, and obviously what I'm about to say is subjective, is that I think this Bucks roster is the one that has made the most sense for Giannis since they won the title.
Sure.
And honestly, probably since they lost to the Raptors. That team in 2018-19 that loss to the Raptors that was in 6 games, that team was perfect for Giannis. Like the roster, the complementary pieces around it. I love the complementary pieces around Giannis right now. Like it's not perfect.
Eric Bledsoe.
But like you at that point you had like Brogdon off the bench. You had your boy Mirotic coming out. Like you had a 1 through 8, a 1 through 9. At the time, he was like a guy that you're rewriting history on Mirotic.
Now,
No,
why
not.
didn't
He was
why didn't
awesome, and then he
you're writing
sucked
history
when
on
he
Bledsoe
got here.
and on Brogdon.
they had Tony Snell? Bud just wouldn't use him. Bart sang that song quite a bit on Chuck and Winkler in the morning.
Yeah,
I
he
remember
should
it
have
very
guarded
well.
Kawhi. They knew each other from high school.
You had rookie of the year Brogdon. And the point is, I like this year's roster. The thing that with even pre-injury, the Giannis quitting in the Washington game, that was the strangest sign. Like it just kind of felt like he had given up. Like he saw what was there. And I think I don't want to even borrow one of Sham's quotes of like the writing on the wall. I think he said that as part of all this week. That was kind of like one of those like, is Giannis just out of gas? Or is he feeling emotions because he's playing against his buddy Chris Middleton? What was that? Like, we still have to like come to like, what was that?
I hope he was angry.
Was he quiet quitting? Like, what was that?
I hope he was angry because he played poorly down the stretch, and that he was a big reason why they lost that game. By the way, like,
I mean, how does a player that
good?
How does a player that it doesn't mean a great player can't have off nights, but Giannis is like he's a motor player. Right. So like if he isn't showing that motor, it's either because of an injury or because his heart's not in it. And his heart is always in it. So when you see that, that 1 in 100 game where he's just kind of like checked out mentally, it's like, whoa, that's strange because that's just not him. So I think even if we were doing this the day after that Wizards game, we'd say like, what was last night about? What was that performance about? I also think this about the overall question of, is it time to do this before the deadline? You don't trade him to trade him. So this is not like an absolute. You don't say like the deadline comes up in 2 days.
If he says, if you don't trade me, I'm not playing, then you're just not playing.
Then you're not playing. I'm not going to do your ultimatum.
Good. Get healthy. Don't go out and get another soft tissue injury for the second time in 2 months. Like, good.
And by the way, I would challenge Giannis to actually do that because I don't think he would. I just don't think that's in his nature.
Well, it'll be more time to, work on those discounts and sales at Antetokounmpo's, the hottest store in downtown Milwaukee.
Or do commercials with Ellie Kemper.
Oh yeah, Cole's mom. Yep.
Cole's mom. So
I've also heard he's a big part of Culver's upcoming marketing budget. So that's another. I don't know. He's got some irons in the fire.
So Giannis is on the same ad campaign as Charlie Barron's. That's good.
So all I would say is to finish the point, you don't put yourself into the corner to keep using the thing of like, hey, we're taking whatever's the best offer come trade deadline. That's the one we're taking because he's being traded. No, you set your price. If your price is met or exceeded, you do it. You don't do it as like we have no choice. Even if Giannis tells you have no choice or his agent says you have no choice, you were trading him or he's not going to play. I'll call your bluff on that. I don't think that's going to happen. If you can get a good offer though, I do think I would say this. Tell me if you both agree, even you, Bart, who's obviously very against the trade. You should 1000% ask every team for their best offer, right? Like now is the time to get. You should know every team's best offer, right? At this point, Bart, even you.
I think the Bucks have signaled for that too. I think a lot of this stuff has come out as like actually a little noise from the Bucks saying, get your powder. What's the expression? Get your powder dry or your powder, whatever. You know what I mean? Like signaling to teams like, put your shit together in case this happens.
Because we're not Luka to the Lakering this thing. Like, and that if that was the case, that there was
I like that all these trade proposals have like Thanasis as a part of it. Yeah. Like, I actually want to keep him if you're trade Giannis. I like him.
Can I also say, Paul, you got me feeling a little romantic. The idea of when's the trade deadline again? February, yeah,
mid usually.
Remember when there were actual good players that were moved at the deadline? Like once upon a time, Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler, they weren't moved to my memory, but it was rumored and it got close. And then when it didn't happen, everyone would shit on Danny Ainge for being a pussy and not doing it. Like I remember that. That was great. And it doesn't happen anymore. because now players just sign the supermax at first opportunity, and then they just ask for a trade when they want. Like let's if they can get a good move at the deadline, it just I feel like typically that happens more so in the offseason, but F it. Like if you could swing a big deal in February, I want to watch TV all day at the trade deadline and see some big names get moved. Yeah. Ideally not my favorite player off my favorite team, but whatever. I'm a fan of the league as well as a fan of the Bucks.
February 6th is the deadline, so just about exactly 2 months away.
I've got an anecdote for you.
Yeah, hit it.
My kid at basketball practice is first and second graders, and they do an introduction. What grade are you in? What school do you go to? Who's your favorite NBA player? 10 kids, 10 answers, all Giannis.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't like. Yeah, me. You're gonna trade Giannis. Oh no, I'm upset because it's like I'm trying to get the prom queen Shams to notice that I don't think he's as pretty as everybody else. But you got kids that like idol this guy, worship this guy. My kid was like, he asked me this. I tell these stories about my kid. They always sound so fake. But he goes, was there ever a guy that you really liked that got traded? Like he asked me, I swear. They just sound so fake. I said one last week on my soon to be canceled show. I forgot what it was, but it just sounded so fucking fake, but it was real.
So I was lifting yesterday, and then the guy came up like something.
Yeah. It was I said Ray Allen. Ray Allen got traded.
Yeah. And
he didn't know who that was. And I said, well, I was sad when Chris Middleton got traded. He knows Middleton.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am telling him now that Giannis could be dealt. Because when that happens, that's going to shatter him.
But does even the concept that there could be a trade of a sports player?
Oh, he loved Dame.
Why?
Yeah, why? Did he like the backstory?
Dame the family man, and my kid's a family man, I guess.
Not enough of a family man to bring his fucking family with him when he moved, but
some are saying that I'm kind of like the Dame of radio. Run away for 2 years and then try to crawl back to my old locale.
You are not happy at any point along the way, no matter where you are or who you're playing with. Yeah, that would be accurate.
I want bigger than local radio. Oh, fuck, these hours suck. I want to go back to local.
Where you have to be up at 5 a.m.
Much rather be up
the second that Giannis gets traded, I'm buying a Con Knippel t-shirt jersey. I effing love that guy. He is
on the Tonight Show the other day.
I know. He's in the green room for my favorite NBA player currently the second that Giannis gets dealt. I'm ready. Anyway.
But I think part of the frustrating thing about the reporting of the way this has all come out is like now, I don't know if you've seen like the walkbacks from Windhorst, right? I know you referenced it a little bit of what he said yesterday on.
Well, there's no reporting. There's just speculation.
But it's not presented. See, this is what's an important distinction from a journalistic ethics guy, me, that like you can't the context of the way you present it. So it's like if Windhorst is now saying 24 hours later, like paraphrasing what he was saying on ESPN earlier, but it's like, well, Giannis didn't say he wanted to be traded. He said he was open to being traded.
He rattled the saber, I believe was the phrase he used today. After saying directly yesterday, he already requested a trade.
And remember those two guys, I told you guys about this, but those two different people in July that found my email phone number and said, Giannis to the Knicks, it's happening. Get your bets in. And then I cocked back off to them when it didn't happen. They both cocked off to me today. See, told you it was happening. Nothing's happened. It's just all another 24-hour cycle of nonsense, which is taking us away from what I truly want to talk about, and that's Packers-Bears week. Yeah, just kidding. I fucking hate this shit.
So let me.
What do you like talking about?
Yeah.
The powder blue jerseys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, all right.
So here's my mention.
I was going to compare you to another recently relieved radio host from your market, but I will not go that far.
I like talking about Craig Carton, if he's coming back and when and who's going to produce for him. A lot of good drama. I like talking about Jimmy Traina and his coverage of this. And he likes Curb more than anybody that's ever existed. I like talking about that.
Replay and jerseys and refs. Zabe.
All right.
Sorry,
so now I'm going to read to you a series of Bleacher Report suggested trades. And I just want you to tell me if any of them are the one that you would know.
No. I'm down for this. The problem is like, if this was the first time anyone had ever done mock trades, we get a new batch of these every month. So Paul,
I still got some on record of like prime Al Horford being in the fucking deal.
Yeah. Paul, I want to hear these.
Giannis for Dwight Howard and fucking Jesus Christ.
I didn't mean to Paul, this is a worthwhile exercise, but it must be stated that like this happens every few months. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Sorry.
The question is like, are they more relevant? Sure. And again, Bart especially is.
This is like looking at, hey, which celebrities that recently turned 20 do I want to fuck? That's what this is. All right. And then the ones that were in the first trade offers, they're 32 now and gross and have crow's feet.
Tim.
I'm local. I'm unhinged.
Paul.
All right. The Spurs offer De'Aaron Fox, Keldon Johnson, Stephon Castle, 3 firsts. Fox, Keldon, Castle, 3 firsts. The Rockets, Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith, Fred VanVleet, contract filler, and then 2 firsts and a first swap. Toronto is Ingram, Barrett, Abaji, Murray Boyles, and then 4 firsts. The Lakers is Austin Reeves, Rui, Kleba, Gabe Vincent, and a first.
Maxi Kleba?
The Knicks is Towns and Anunoby.
No.
The Heat is Tyler Hero, Davion Mitchell, Kyle Ware, Vasquez Jr., and 2 firsts. The Hawks is Ricochet, Trey Young, 2 firsts.
Hawks or Rockets, I would say.
So the
Lakers would not be in this mix. Like if that was the Grizzlies with the same players, no one would even put that in an article. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Same with the Knicks, honestly. Why do I want Cat and Anunoby?
I don't know. I agree with you. Definitely not the Knicks offer.
Is Ricochet? Is he good?
He's a serviceable upper tier role player.
Isn't he the first pick?
He was the first pick in a very, down. He's been perfectly fine. He's not going to like change your franchise like a typical first overall pick would. But I will say the thing about that Hawks offer, the 2026 first that they have would be the Pelicans pick.
Okay.
Pelicans are awful. So you're probably looking at
Derek Queen is great.
Fine, but that's going to be a top 4 pick. So you're going to get you say Ricochet, and then you say okay,
Trey Young. The Hawks.
What's that?
Did the Pelicans give their pick to the Hawks?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So that's why
explicitly describing while you prepare whatever bit you're preparing over there.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a fucking good one. I bet.
Bart, did any of these stick out to you?
No.
I would say also, you didn't say the Rockets one? I'm a big Amen Thompson fan. I think Smith Jr. is good. And then if you can get, 2 future firsts out of that and a pick swap, you're getting a really good, you're getting some good players.
I would do Rockets Hawks. You get a couple picks for Miles Turner? We need more picks.
I think at that point, everything's on the table.
Okay.
I want teenagers on my team.
Yeah.
What, Bart, you seem like you're not going to give too much on this one. So let me just ask you this.
I'm not.
What do you think? So the day after Giannis is traded, whenever that may be, the resale market for Bucks tickets goes down what %?
Are you new?
200, 600, 9,000. Just like drugs.
They're not getting cheaper. Nothing's getting cheaper.
I said the resale market.
Oh, resale market. Sure. Yeah.
Resale market.
Yeah. You're going to be able to go to a lot of Bucks games and sit real close. You think Gruber goes to these games anymore? You don't want to be fucking seen. You don't want to be slapping hands with Jericho Sims.
I might want to go more now if they're actually cheaper. I would go to more games.
I think most people would. I mean,
the
there's
Giannis trade. Put it this way, Paul. The Giannis trade as a concept interests me greatly. The actual inner workings of it doesn't do much for me. The same way that I loved the Devin Williams trade but hated the return, it would be that 2.0 with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think not the only. I think the most frustrating part, other than like, if you're wrong for 10 years and then the thing happens, were you right? With like Bart's reference with Shams, the most challenging part for me, in addition to that, is hearing good NBA people present the worst trade offers. So you're like, okay, so the Spurs are going to be in on this, right? So obviously you're not trading Wembanyama. You can't have Dylan Harper in that. You can't have Castle in that. He's like, well, okay, so
somebody's got to be in it.
So like, that you're getting Giannis, right? Okay, so the Rockets. Well, no Şengün, no Amin Thompson. You can't put in Jabari Smith Jr. He's improving. It's like, okay, so what do you suggest goes back the other way?
Which, by the way, I am not a believer that Giannis is all of a sudden just going to go somewhere and win a title. Like, I think he's a very unique player. He's getting older. I don't know. I'm not saying that he shouldn't pursue other options. I'm saying this is not as simple as just go join a more talented team and stack championships. I would bet against that. Love him to death, though.
And by the way, I think this is all just nonsense. People are just saying stuff. I think Bart's taking a COVID test or something.
Yeah.
But did you see the one today at one point where it said, Giannis really likes the idea of going to Oklahoma City and partnering with Shea. And I'm like, respectfully, Giannis, you are incredible. First off, I don't think he ever said that or like whatever. I think that it's not a report. I think it's just some guy saying something. But even if it was the case, the Thunder don't need, as ridiculous as it is to say, the Thunder aren't trading for Giannis. They're going to win They're going to win the finals in 5 games, even if 2 of their players are hurt. Like,
he didn't work with Dame. He's supposed to go play with Shea, who's a more ball dominant. Paul, can I remind you? And this is easy for us to forget. There is only one basketball. I just don't think he just goes somewhere. It was hard in the super team era to just get 2 or 3 good players and win a title. We've been out of that era for forever. So, I don't know.
I think my biggest thing is, as the guy who is dispassionate about trades and can, probably to a detriment, thinks long term all the time. It is a bummer that it seems likely that we don't have our Dirk. Sure. Right? If there was ever going to be a player of the caliber of a Dirk, of a Giannis, to stay in Milwaukee for an entire career, Giannis was obviously in our lifetimes going to be that guy. And it seems like that's not going to happen. It would be very, very cool to have our Dirk, right? And it seems like we're not going to have that. Like,
I'm content with 12 years. If he leaves, I'm content with 12 years. Is a hell of a run.
It is. The first 2+ years he was a non-entity, right?
Remember when I said, though, after those 2 years he was going to be an MVP and I won $500?
Did Wicked pay you?
Wicked paid me $100 and Chuck paid me $500.
Chuck actually did. Man,
well, I don't have 2 things now. I don't have a job and I don't have COVID.
That was a pleasure to witness.
Now, the test does expire in July of 2023.
It does expire in like the future tense, as opposed to like has expired, did expire.
Can I say something about Packers Bears?
Beautiful segue.
Thank you. The thing that's really triggering me this week is there's the argument comparing Caleb Williams versus Jordan Love. And Bears fans, better than anybody, do a really good job of twisting numbers until it makes sense, their argument.
Okay.
There's one guy who I was arguing with that he's saying Caleb Williams has more fourth quarter comeback drives in 2 years than Jordan Love does in 6. Now, Jordan Love did not play for 3 years. But then they'll ask you, well, when was he drafted? And you'll say whatever. And they don't care. And even if you say, all right, well, let's look at Rodgers in those 6 years and Love. And then you realize you're spending time on something so stupid. Like, who gives a shit? And if I got to hear one more time that they were a blocked field goal away from sweeping them last year, I mean, there's not a rivalry that I think I enjoy less than this one. And they need to win, the Packers, because otherwise the Bears, like this, until it's not, it is their Super Bowl. Until it's not, it is. And if we lose, okay, what are we going to get the 4 seed, play them again in 2 weeks, whatever. But it's just the level that they go to. And now they're talking about, how Ben Johnson took his shirt off. What's next? Like I put the analogy up. You show them your first centerfold. They're talking about what they're going to move in with them to the Playboy Mansion. Like this team, they can't just live in the moment. They're always, and this is why they're always so bummed out, because their expectations are so lofty at the shortest sign of like anything good. And Packer fan, look, we've talked about the rivalry. I think people that make this rivalry their personality, I think on both sides, it's stupid. And this week is not fun for me.
You just spend a little less time on the internet. I think you.
I would say I also didn't I don't hear or see most of what you must be referring to.
I saw all the.
I bought a blue check mark, and I had to get to 5 million impressions over the last 3 months. So I've had to tweet 30 times a day for the last 7 days to get there, to see if I can make any money. And then when I realize I can't, I will get the blue check mark away. And I think that's why I'm sick. I think Twitter's doing this to me. Twitter and Shams and Giannis, and my desire to have COVID again as a COVID survivor 3-time. I think that's all bad. I think it's weighing down on your boy. Oh, unemployment. There's a lot going on in my life.
Can I just say, we get a lot of calls on our network of Packers fans who are like, I don't know if I can trust this Packers team. I think they'll win, but I don't know. Maybe they show up and they, the bad version that shows up, the version that we've seen in some of their losses. And sometimes I just want to scream and I do, scream into the microphone at some of you people. That's sports. That's why these games are played. Like, I'm nervous. You should be. It's a huge game. And if our team loses, our team's going to be in a worse spot, and an opposing fan base is going to be able to stick it to us. So I guess, Bart, you are, to me, describing natural fan experience. You are going through right now what a diehard fan of a team goes through.
I'm a fanatic.
This is good. Thank you. Fan is short for fanatic. And the best ability is availability, which Giannis currently sucks ass at. So that's also stuck in my head at the moment.
Have you guys ever been to Denver?
Mm-mm.
Yes.
What should I check out next week?
You've never been to Denver, Paul? That's like the one place everybody's been to.
Mm-mm.
I've been to the airport like 6 times.
Ooh, good conspiracy theory airport.
Because I've either had to go to Vegas or San Fran, and we always end up in that airport. But yeah, I've never touched Denver soil, but I'm looking forward to the game. It's going to be like 59 degrees.
To what degree are you planning to behave?
A good degree.
All right, nice.
Yeah. At that time, that's next week. Carry the one. I'll still be a national talk show host. So if it was like a week later, I could be a little more debaucherous, but I still will be representing not just me, but my network. So I feel like I should behave.
I don't spend a lot of time in Denver, but it strikes me as a city that has a lot of breweries, microbreweries, but they're not like a brewery. It's a place where you can like go sit and like bring your kids and dogs, and they probably have board games there. Like, that's probably what I'd look into. That's where I would start in Denver personally.
It's a hard word to say multiple times, Grant. Brewery.
Thank you.
Brewery.
But I enunciate as I am a radio host.
And I am too for 9 more shows.
I don't know what to do in Denver, dude. Last time I went there, we spent an afternoon and then we drove to Aspen. Rent a car and drive to Aspen. That's what I did, and it was very fun. So do that.
How far is that?
Like 4 hours.
Okay.
Obviously, you're not going to do that. I have nothing to suggest.
All right. Well, if anyone's going to Denver that listens to the pod, HMU, okay?
Bart Winkler, hurry up. Let's hit me up, Paul.
Hit me up. All right. You guys both seem tired of my shtick.
No.
Just tired in general. Sick.
Yeah.
I think I'm just now I got an Amazon package that got sent to my house in my name, which the Amazon's in her name. It's like a flat iron. I don't know why that came. Now I got to deal with that. My dishwasher's broke. It's 10 degrees. I got a lot going on.
You have a home and a loving family.
Well, yeah, and I cherish it.
It sounds like it.
There's a lot right now that's piling up.
Yeah, including Amazon packages on your porch.
Yeah, it's cold out. Did I mention that?
You did, and that does suck.
Yeah. My COVID test is expired, so I don't know if I have it or not.
I feel like you probably just got a cold. It's the creeping crud. It's going around.
Well, thanks, guys, for always being there for me.
Mm-hmm.
No, you guys are always here for me. And I love doing this every week. You know this part. Come on.
And thanks to all of you for being there for me as well. And thanks to all of you for stopping into the Winklerverse. I pressed end.
Didn't work.
Well, it will work.
Tim.
Tim.